Welcome to another episode of Heights International Talk. It is your weekly, daily dosage of business talk, here to inspire, challenge, innovate, and provoke. And
There you go.
And today we have a great segment marked up by yours truly. Gus, go ahead and say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? How are you guys?
We also want to take the time out and say thank you to everybody that has been watching each and every one of those episodes and giving us good feedback.
Yep.
We appreciate it. Keep on hitting those comments and also hitting us up separately in private just to let us know what else you guys would like to talk about. Today, we're basically going to try to do our best to help you dummy-proof your 2020. So break it down to us, Gus.
All right, man. So today's episode, just like the man of the hour, Javi said it, dummy proof 2020. Man. All right, I'm excited for this one. It's going to be juicy. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. We got 4 hits for you. As you guys know, we've been giving you guys each hit. We'll go over it. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Do the whole 9. All right, let's talk about it. So, Javi, man, 2020 is coming.
It's right around the corner, man.
It's coming, man. We got about 3 weeks left of 2019. I'm already missing 2019, man, and it's not even over yet.
Seriously, me too. I am missing it, and a bunch of great memories that we've had, starting off the podcast and just doing a couple other things in personal life too. It's been a hell of a year, but it's also great to, start this new blank canvas for the next year. But we also want to reflect. We want to look back. We had a couple of victories over 2019.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, another one of my podcasts that I'm on, the Ambition Hour podcast, we reached 100 episodes.
Nice.
And
that's a big step, man.
We're
number 5.
We're number 5.
I already feel like, man, it's been here for years already. But man,
like 100 already. It's been a long time. And also with my business, Worth the Wait Records, we've doubled our income, from last year to this year. So that's always a good thing, and we're continuing to grow. My year did not suck, but maybe some of your guys' years sucked, or you felt that you didn't really expound on a little bit too much. That's
that suck smell.
That's that suck smell. That thing stinks.
There you go.
Another thing reflecting on my year, I did go to Landmark Forum, and I did go to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power from Within, and just to build up my mind, old habits that I had to get rid of, kind of wiping this the slate clean for all the baggage that one of us carries. Because that's the thing, before 2020, we're already thinking about what happened in 1990 or, what happened in 2002, that didn't work out for us. Or, you start looking at your life and it's like, oh, is my life just like another business? Well, you are a business yourself.
Yep.
And you start looking at it like, oh, is it a trend? Is it a trend for me to not succeed? Is it a trend for me to not pass the hump? Or is it a trend for me to stay in this place and I cannot grow? And that's just a bunch of BS. So don't think about it like that. What's happened has happened, and now you're more stronger than ever before. So you have to look at it like that. But it also takes us a time for a moment that we have to look for what do we need to change, right? Because if you continue doing the same thing again
over and over again,
expecting go ahead,
a different result. That's the definition of
insanity, baby.
Ooh.
So do not go crazy. I'll keep on doing the same thing over again. If you keep untying your shoes and they untie themselves, then you're missing a step there.
You got to do a little harder.
Yeah, you gotta come a little harder if you keep on doing the same thing. Yeah.
So yeah, today's first hit, man. Basic. Reflect. Hit number 1. Reflect on your last year, man. I've been, for the last 4 or 5 days, I've just been going over, writing down my profit and loss, my gains, my 135, my 411s. That's all Kellerism. But yeah, doing all my numbers just to make sure that my business is on track. And what I've noticed is that even though the numbers look good, my management has been sucking. I'm gonna put my business out there, right? So the numbers, the what I've been receiving, my income has been amazing, but the way that I've been managing my money man, there needs to be some adjustments in there. So that's one of the things that I'm reflecting on for the upcoming year, 2020. And that's how I'm going to dummy proof my 2020, right? I'm going to look at my numbers. I'm going to see what I need to make adjustment, what I need to adjust in life, spirituality, physical, mental, business, friendship. There's going to be a lot of adjustments. So if you're one of my friends out there and you're a bum, you might not get called. And if you want, look, and I'm just gonna say it too. And if you want, if you've been one of my friends, and throughout this entire year, you've been pouring into my life and you've been doing good for me, you've been giving me good feedback, man, I'm gonna be calling you. I'm gonna be calling you again and again and again. But again, you gotta reflect. So one thing I wanted to ask, right? When you reflect on 2019, on your previous year, on this year actually, did it suck or was it a success? Not at all times. Just because you reflect on your current year or the year before, does it always suck? And if it did suck, what are you gonna do different to change the route, right? And if it didn't suck, but it was a success, what are you going to do differently, or what are you going to do the same? Sometimes whenever we get to that threshold of doing good and successful and success after success, we think to do dumb stuff like change things around. When our business is successful, why change it? Why go, I need to focus my attention on marketing because I've achieved this level of success. No, if you're where you want to be, then maybe stick there.
Double down on your good habits. Don't double down on the bad ones. But it's so true. Like how Gus is saying that you could look at your year. He said that he got a great year.
Yeah.
But there's some things that you still need to tweak. Like myself, that's kind of how I feel about my 2019 too. Like I felt it was a great year. I did a lot of good stuff, but my focus. And like I said with the business, it has improved, but my focus wasn't as laser as it was in 2018. Okay. So like that kind of bothers me, or it kind of makes me feel like, oh, this really wasn't that great, But then I look at it in black and white, and I'm like, oh shit, it was a great year. Excuse my French, but then it's like, okay, then we just got to keep on doing, keep on doing those good habits and just doubling down on what's working for us, know, and also who's supporting you, who's uplifting you, right? Who's pouring in your life in a good way rather than in a negative way, or even like in the business sense, right? What are those customers that have been loyal with you? Reach out to them more, have a deeper connection with them, build that rapport more. And the ones that you're fighting your butt off to get them and build them as clients,
write them off.
Write them off.
Exactly.
There's plenty. There's plenty other fishes in the sea, and there's plenty other customers that want what you have to offer.
Exactly.
It's just that they don't know it yet.
It's funny. I was talking with a CPA. I'm getting ready to file all my taxes, and I know I'm early right now, but I'm getting ready to do all my filing. And I was talking with the CPA, and she was telling me that doctors have the most difficult time filing taxes. Why? Because they always get paid late by their patient because there's insurance. They got to get paid through the insurance. So what the CPA was telling me is that if you're a doctor, if you're making all this money, normally they suck when it comes time to do taxes. And what do I mean by that? Why am I saying this? Is because they look at their business and they have to understand that just because they do a surgery today or they do an appointment today does not mean they're going to get paid today, right? For us in real estate, just because we get a new client today does not mean we're going to get paid today. Maybe if you're an attorney out there, just because you hire or you represent a client does not mean you're going to get paid that day. So you have to reflect on how long has the trend, does it take 3 months? In real estate, it takes 3 months for you to averagely get paid for one transaction. But if you're a business owner out there, you have to reflect on your previous year and see how long it's been taking you to get paid so that you can reflect and so you can properly know how to manage your finances and your income. See, a lot of people in business, they don't do this. They think, oh man, I'm doing good right now. I'm okay. Well, and then they're not thinking about 3 months ahead or 2 months ahead or a week ahead. And then in 3 months, what happens? They weren't promoting their business. They weren't advertising themselves. All they were doing is thinking, I got one client today, I'm good.
Right.
Right.
And that's also the thing, you know, we don't expect that, right? We feel like we're doing the work. We have the product.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't expect, it's going to take us 3 months or down the line 2 weeks or however long it is in your business to see that income come in.
Exactly.
We do not expect that. And then just be more on the ball with that. Rather be on defense, be on the offense, and be able to expect those type of things. I have a buddy of mine who just recently opened his shade company, Sunshades company. And I want to gotta get the name out here. But he didn't suspect him running out of shades. Someone brought 2 of everything.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, you know, of course, you know, there was other orders, but that order kind of set him back for some more orders, right?
Yeah.
So it's just things like that, and not knocking you out, Miguel. You know, I love you, brother.
You called them out, literally. You called them out.
You know, that's great that happened, but sometimes we don't think that. Or as realtors, right, we get the listing. We don't get paid for getting listings, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you do not get paid because you got that exclusive rights agreement.
Mm-hmm.
You have to close.
Yeah.
And then that's when you start seeing your money, right? And music, you know, you can make for some people like Drake and them, they get paid to do the album. But some people, you know, you got to get the album and then you have to promote and then, you know, then you can start getting your revenue. It's not like, I did the album and, you know, my job's done here. I could walk away. Exactly. No, we have to even double down more now that the product is out, get it down or have systems in place, you know, for those doctors, for those dentists. Make sure your accounts receivable is on point because it could go 6 months down the line or you're in December now and it's like, oh, dang, we have 12 patients that owe us $22,000 and it could make our year from good to great, you know, if those accounts got paid.
Exactly. So that was hit number 1, right? Reflect on your last year. Again, did it suck or was it a success? And what are you going to do to change it? Write that down, memorize it, have a plan, have a goal in mind. Number two, hit number 2. Write down your big vision for 2020. Write down your big vision. What does that mean? I hate to say it, you know, write goals. It seems like we say this every end of the year, you know, write down your goals, do this, but you should be doing this monthly, weekly, daily. You know, what are you going to do when you get in the office? What are you going to do at next week? How many clients are you going to talk to? How many prospects are you going to follow up with? Who's your next lead coming from? What is your referral looking like? You know, so you have to have those things in order. But you have to write it down. Write down your big vision. Be crazy. Go wild with your big vision and then set expectations of how you're going to meet that.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine, Joshua. He had a great deal on making his goals very small. Mm-hmm. He was awesome at doing that. He would always sell himself short and then, you know, mid-year, kind of lose that motivation. You know, around June, July, because you already hit those goals. So you're just looking at it, and then you look back at your paper, and you're like, oh, wow, well, this is what I wrote. Oh, I did that, did this.
Yeah.
Cool, let's go. It's time to go to Europe for the next 6 months, right? So, yeah, reach for the stars. Reach for the stars. You know, like Kanye West, some people are not a fan, but like Kanye West once said, reach for the stars for you can land on the moon. Exactly. And I always thought that was an awesome way to think about things. You know, like reach for the stars, go big, go hard. You know, what happens if everything that you wrote down would happen? How would that be? Rather than being,
how would your life
quote,
be
unquote,
different?
Humble, you know, humble. Oh, I don't want to make $1 million because I don't know this and that. No, write that $1 million. Put $1 billion on there, man. And make and with that same intensity follow through on 2020.
Exactly. You know what I was thinking about this? What successful people do, and then what I noticed that they do 3 things. They read, they journal, and they reflect. They read, they journal, and they reflect. Man, if you are a business owner and you are not doing one of these cornerstones, foundational pivotal points in your business, then you are not going to succeed. You are not dummy proofing 2020 for you. So what does that mean? Read, journal, reflect. Javi, what were we talking about? The people who read a lot?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, but as I bring that up, let me say reflecting is great. I mean, I've been picking up meditation a little bit, and it's just been awesome. It's just done wonders for, you know, spirits, mentally, but also like, and that sense of gratitude. You know, I think that even pushes me to go even harder and further, right? So it says that Warren Buffett, you know, he makes it a point to read about 500 pages to 5 pages like this every single day. He reads
500 pages a day.
500. No, excuse me. Actually, he takes it to the extreme. That was before, right? There was at a point in his life he was doing that, but now he does 600 to 1,000 pages a day. And
600.
He's
He's not talking about words. He's talking about pages.
pages.
That's hours of reading a day.
600 pages? Like, what book is more than 600 pages? I don't even want to read it. I'm
still on Dr. Seuss.
I'm still on Dr. Seuss. Yeah, that's 24 pages. They say that he still devotes about 80%
Wow.
of his day to read. Imagine
80%.
that. 80% of each day to read.
That's 100. Like that's 80% just knowledge. Just bringing it all in and just devouring knowledge. Why? So that way, when you come around people and when you go around your business, you can just spit it all back out. Everything that you've been reading and retaining, you just spit it all back out into your employees, into your assistants, into your people, into your family, your friends. Man.
The key word that Gus said there was retaining.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably read 1,000 pages or listen to all these books and all that stuff, but are you retaining it? Are you applying it? Things like that. I think that's the most important. We could go to all these seminars. We could go to all this, and that, and the third, every single training known to man. Grant Cardone, have one-on-ones with whoever, how many, the bank is open, you're just spending all that money, but are you retaining it? Are you implementing it? Are you doing anything with that information? Just a couple of notable names here. Bill Gates reads about 50 books per year.
Nice.
Which breaks it down to a book a week.
A book a week.
Which I tried to make that this year's goal and didn't happen. But hey, 2020 is another year.
There you go.
Mark Cuban reads more than 3 hours each day. Elon Musk is an avid reader. They said, "How did you learn how to build a rocket?" He said, "I read books."
Okay, so let me get this right. You're saying the most influential people. And people with Fortune 500 businesses, you're telling me they have time to read?
Yeah, they
and
have
little
time.
Old me, where I'm so busy and I don't have time to read?
Yeah, you don't have the time to read, actually.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm telling you right now.
2020 is going to look different.
2020 is going to look real different. We're going to get a couple books. I'm going to get an Audible membership.
You got to get a library going on.
Yeah, I'm actually reading Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg, he reads about a book every 2 weeks. So, he's catching up to Bill. And then Oprah Winfrey selects her favorite books each and every month for her book club members to read and discuss. So it seems like Oprah read everything. So now she just employs or has her own little group that she cultivates to read a book a month, which isn't bad. Crazy. That's 12 books.
Okay,
she's probably reading more.
So you read. Right, we got that. We need to read more.
Readers are leaders.
There you go.
That was going to be the name of the podcast, but it didn't get enough votes.
we got to read. Okay, but now there's this thing called journaling and reflecting. But Javi, man, come on. I'm a big shot here. I'm a guy. Guys don't journal. Guys don't journal.
You don't have a diary?
No, man. Guys don't. That's nonsense, man. All these people.
I'm not gonna write my feelings.
How are you gonna read 50 books and not take a note? How are you not gonna bring out the Post-it?
little highlighter, something.
Little highlighter, do something. If you bust out the highlighter, you might highlight your life. I'm just saying, I'm putting that out there. Look, you gotta journal. You gotta. One of my accountability partners, he always says, "Gus, you got so many good ideas, David." I'm a holla. Yeah, and one thing he always busts my chops about. He's like, "Bro, just go ahead and write it down." And then that's
he's big on that though.
He just says, Gus, just write that down. So why does I think he fundamentally means when you put it down on a piece of paper, you're beginning a formation to bring it into life.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, think about if I was going to build a car. And then I have an idea. Okay, I want a fast car. I want a Porsche. I want this. I want that. I want it with 4 wheels. I want a 2 doors, minimum of 2 doors, 1 steering wheel. Okay, I got that. But if I don't put that on a piece of paper, if I don't put it in a drawing board, it's not gonna come to life.
Right.
So now, so I'm a reader. I'm journaling. I'm writing down things. I'm writing things for 2020. I'm reflecting from my 2019. Now, the third part of it is, man, I got to reflect on what I read and what I journaled. And then I got to look back from 2019 and say, man, this was some good phases in my life. This was some bad phases in my life. These are the things that I've learned. These are the things that I failed in. Just a little bit for me, whenever a client was disappointed with me, or whenever I lost a potential listing or a potential client, maybe I didn't get it, I always write down what I did wrong, so that way I can just reflect it for the whole week. So that way I'm not beating myself up because I let my client down or I didn't get the client, but so that the next guy, my next client, he won't have to face that at all. So that's just reflecting and writing it down. So think about that. All right, what's hit number 3?
It's to set goals.
Set goals.
And how do I set goals? You know, how do a lot of people are wondering, like, how do I really even do this? Where do I start? You know, you want to start off with this real thing, you know. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you want to be smart about it.
Not dumb about it.
You don't want to be yeah. Dumb. That's so 2019. You don't be dumb about it. Be smart about it.
Be smart about it. Okay, Javi, tell me what that means, man. Okay, I get reflecting on my past year. I get that. I get reading books. I get journaling. I get all that. And I get setting goals, but what do you mean by be smart about it?
So it breaks it down, you know, letter by letter, you know, specific.
Write it out.
Specific so that's S. M, measurable. A, achievable. R, relevant. And then T, timely.
All right. Oh man, that's a whole lot. We got to talk about that for a few minutes.
Yeah, that's that might be a whole nother podcast.
No, let's talk about it, because if we're gonna set some goals, you know, so the first letter of SMART is be specific.
Yeah, you can't say I want to make good pizza. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
You know,
I want to make good. Okay, so just to this is the specific. This is not specific. I want to lose weight. No. I want to lose 35 pounds by 2020, and you know, and this is how I'm gonna break it down, and this is how I'm gonna make it happen. Not just I want to lose 20 pounds, or not just I want to lose weight, because this is what happens in the beginning of the year when everybody, when gym membership spikes, because why? They know that they want to lose weight, but they don't create a plan. They don't create a meal plan. They don't create, you know, they don't have accountability partner. They don't have, you know, a trainer to go to, someone to keep them in check, you know. But, you know, this is how you be smart. Be specific. Yeah,
you got to be specific, because if not, you're going to say I'm losing weight. What, you want to lose the same 10 pounds 10 times this year? Or do you want to lose, like how Gus is saying, 35 pounds? And then how is that? Is it achievable, though, right? 35 pounds, you can't say by February. You know, you're going to lose 30 pounds in 1 month. I mean, I don't know what type of magical thing you're gonna do, but you know, make it achievable. Exactly. You know, so and also measurable. So yeah, 6 months to lose 30 pounds. That seems measurable. Okay, you can measure that. It's achievable around that time. It's relevant because it's to him and to the person, and timely. You know, he has 6 months. Right? What you said, June or July, whatever. About 6 or 5 months for to get that done. So it needs to be measurable. You know, you got to make sure that you got to make sure it hits each one of those.
And the more specific you are about your 2020 goal, the more likely you will be to achieve that goal. Okay, and this is what I mean.
Preach.
I went over to Claudia Restrepo. Shout out to her. Amazing leader. She is phenomenal. I told her I wanted to make $250,000 next year, and then she's like, "Awesome, great. How are you gonna do that?" And then I was just like, "I'm gonna sell a lot of houses." Well, that's not smart. Right, according to our acronym, that's not specific enough, that's not measurable, that's not achievable, that's not relevant, and that's not timely. So we sat down and we broke it down exactly how I was going to make $250,000 next year. We set up how many appointments I needed to go on, how many clients I needed to call, how many cold calls I needed to do a day. Everything, we broke it down line by line. If you thought doing a profit and loss sheet was hard, doing a goal for 2020 is going to be a lot harder. Why? Because the more specific you are, the more achievable it will be. And then when I looked at it, when I was finally done doing my 135, as we call it here in Keller Williams, it sounded so simple. 250. I'll tell you right now. 200. I'm looking at my board trying to see my numbers. I didn't put it up. For me to make $250,000 for next year in real estate, I needed to go on 2 listing appointments a week. That's simple. that's simple. You know what I mean? So, help me get there. If you're listening to this, help me get there. No, but realistically, why? Because we made it so specific that now I can achieve that. That's achievable. Wow. Okay, so if you're a real estate agent out there, doesn't matter what company you are, give Javi or me a call. Right. We will help you set your 2020 goal. Now, if you're a business owner out there, give us a call too, man. We'll strategize together. We'll sit down and write up a business plan for 2020. It should be simple, not difficult.
Or a business canvas as well. So even if you're starting out, to see like what needs and wants and how are you going to serve those clients, and is there a need even for what you're trying to do. I love that you mentioned Claudia, but it's so true. You have to be specific, and you have to be and it makes it so simple when you are that way, when you break it down to that, because 250 sounds, oh my god, like just saying it is just like, well, I'm gonna have to work my butt off. I'm not gonna have no free time for anything. 50 books, I'm not gonna have time for that. Exactly. But then you're like, oh, two appointments a week. You're like, oh, I'm kind of already doing that. I just gotta be more purposeful about it and and ensure it, and that's why we write it down. But why we put it in front of our faces. It's why we all, when we write it, I don't know, like what Gus was saying earlier. When we write it, it's like we make it come to life a little bit.
Exactly.
I didn't get to start my business until I wrote it down. Actually.
I
had the plans for it all along, the name, all this, the logo, all that. It didn't officially become an LLC until I started writing it down.
Yep. Try getting a business loan without having a business plan, and go to the bank and just tell them, hey, I want $500,000 to start my real estate business.
And if they approve you, comment their name below.
They're going to.
If they approved you of that, let us know.
No, they're gonna laugh at you. That's what they're gonna do.
You're not laugh prepared. You at the bank.
They're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna think you must be joking because you're not serious enough about your own business.
Yep.
Right. If you don't have a goal in place, it's not going to get fulfilled. I guarantee you that. I'll put money on the line for that one. So be specific. Be specific. All right. Hit number 4. You got that one, Javi?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's something that we talk about a lot without even talking about it. And it's find your big why.
Yep.
Why do you want that 250? Why do you want a successful business?
Yep.
Why do you want to be the local business of choice for any field? Why do you want to sell sunshades?
Yep.
Shout out Miguel again.
Yep.
Find your big why means you can accurately exactly why it is what you want and why you want it. Why are you going for it? Who are you doing it for?
Exactly.
What's the reason and purpose? Why are you working so hard? Why are you really reading 50 books? Is it to be like Elon, or is it to be like Bill Gates? No, if that's your case, no. You need to go dig a little deeper than that.
Exactly.
It has to come to the bottom of it. What is your big why? And why are you waking up early? Why are you going to sleep late? If we don't keep that why on top of mind, we slowly start to lose it, and we slowly just like to be like, oh, I'm burnt out. I just can't take it anymore. What's going on? I'm pretty sure even if you reflected a little bit more and had your big why, probably the first page of your journal, you will jump out of bed.
Yeah.
You'll jump out of bed and you'll say, I got to get to it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny that this was number 4, but that should be your number 1. Because if you don't know your big why, you can't reflect on your previous year, on your current year, and your future year. If you don't know your big why, then you can't write down your vision for 2020. If you don't know your big why, then you can't set goals. Then the whole SMART plan goes out the window. So you have to understand what your big why is, and you got to articulate it. You got to be able to articulate what your goal is and what your big why is. If someone asks you, hey, why do you do what you do? Man, if you don't know what that is, man, take a day off and go get a cup of coffee, have a day with yourself and figure it out. Review, reflect on last year and really try to understand why is it that you do what you do. And then once you understand that, then you'll be able to go, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it. This is why I want to do this, because of my kids, because of my school, because of whatever it is. Whatever your big why is, find out. So that way you can go ahead and make all these hits a lot smoother.
Yeah, nailed it on the head there. That's so true. You need to be able to articulate it and be able to share it, with your partner or with your business partner or accountability partner, so you know why that fire is continuously to burn. Because we're so easy to give up work for watching The Office for 3 hours. That wouldn't be so attractive if our big why is on top of mind, if we constantly repeat it. And if your big why, you might say something, maybe it's for your kids, maybe it's for your parents, maybe it's for someone else. I'm not saying that that's a big why, but you should try to see if there's something more internal, like for you specifically, because if not, sometimes we tend they'll get it on their or at least in my case, where I say my parents, I want to retire my parents, that's my big why, that's why I work hard. And then at times it kind of comes down to, well, is that even my responsibility? And you start having that game. So I had to change my big why. We shared it on another podcast. We're not gonna say it. Go watch that podcast. And basically take it from there and find it more. Your why should really be personal.
Exactly.
And I know I don't have kids. Gus has kids, and I know that's a big driving motivation. I just want to attempt to test you on that. I know you love your kids. I know you love little Johnny more than anything. It was the best thing in the world. One of the top moments, I bet, in your life, and a sense of gratitude probably happened there when you finally got to hold your child. But try to think about it for you, and why is it that you're working so hard? Because burning out, I feel like that's, I keep on repeating it because that's just the easiest thing to chalk it up to. Oh, it was burnout, or I feel burnt out. I need a day with myself, not to reflect, not to to write in my journal or to read or figure out what my big why is or start my business plan. I want a day off where I could be in my underwear and eat hot Cheetos and watch The Office.
Exactly.
Even though that sounds great, no.
Look,
not do that.
If you got kids, I'm gonna say this coming from a father.
Please, because I felt like I reached a little bit.
Yeah. No, you did good. If you got kids, be really, really, really careful into making your kids your big why. And this is why.
Why?
This is the big why.
This is the why for that.
This is the big why. Because if you fail them, you're failing your kids. I'm just letting you know. Because if you say, oh, my kids are my big why, I want to put them through college, I want to be able to, take them to Disney, I want to be able to do this and that for them, and you're sleeping in, you are failing your kids. I rather you put your big why as because I want, $100 more in my pocket. That's it. Because your kid should be your top priority. But if you are not going to give the level of commitment as you would give to your kids, don't even put your kids as your big why, because you're only going to be failing yourself and your kids. All right? I'm just and the reason why I'm being a little bit more harder on this is because I had an agent who, he wrote out his big why was his kid. And he wrote, I'm doing everything for my kid. He was a single father. But he wasn't coming into work. He wasn't putting a whole bunch of attention to detail to his clients. He was slacking off. He was doing this. And then I told him, your kids are not your priority. Because if you treated your business like your big why, and if you're doing this for your kids, then your business would look 100% different. And then I told him, man, go ahead and scratch your kids off that big why. They're not, you can't put them on right now because you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself. And yourself is lazy. And he was just like, oh, you calling me lazy? Yeah, I'm calling you lazy. That was episode 3. Go listen to it.
Go listen to it. I love that. So you got to redirect
you're lazy,
it.
You're not going to make it.
You're not going to make it. Yeah.
But be careful with putting your kids, because if you put your kids as your big why and you bring your big why to me, I'm going to call you out.
Yeah. I'm
going to call you out.
Yep.
So I'm just saying,
yeah,
we don't hold back here.
We don't hold back here. Yeah, accountability partner is number one here. Man, you I wanted to say this too when you touched on this. If you find it any difficulty to find your big why, and you're probably listening to me and Gus, you're like, man, these guys are crazy or on some drugs. I don't know what they got going on.
They're on something.
Yeah, they're on something. That's not water in his water bottle. it's
That
okay.
Kool-Aid.
It's okay. Keep on listening to us because you either in return get motivated or
Yep.
inspired to find your big why.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes at first we don't know. We're learned to go to school, go with the flow, follow a schedule,
Yep.
get a job, good paying job, and that necessarily not might be your passion. It might not be something that's fulfilling to you. So speaking of things that, you know, look at yourself, you know, find your a big reason for why you want to work, why you want to do this. It might seem like foreign language to you, but it's very important for you to do that.
Yeah.
Because then you'll be in a retirement home with a list full of regrets.
Yeah.
When me and Gus go out and
Living life, man.
do our charity work, and we get to hear your regrets. So don't be the old man or the old woman there with a bunch of regrets because you just simply went with the flow and didn't think that yourself deserved it. Because trust me, you do deserve it. You should go out and get it for yourself.
I'm a quote one of my financial heroes, Dave Ramsey. He says, "Live like no one else now, so that later you can live like no one else."
Episode done, guys. Enough said.
Live like no one else now. Go work, 2-3 jobs. Get it done so that later you can live like no one else, abundantly, full of life, and no regret, no remorse. All right, sounds good. Hey, guys, like, share, subscribe. This was a juicy podcast. We got more coming your way. 2020 is looking bright for you. Keep going at it, man. Don't give up.
Keep going at it. Share your goals down below too as you're commenting, or any topics that you guys want us to go over. You know, if you need, like how Gus said, if you want us to reach out to you, just leave a comment below. We'll reach out, see if we could either set up a call, a Zoom call, and we could get down to your goals. You know, maybe you're like, I don't know how to set a goal.
Yeah.
Luckily we have a great coach in Claudia Restrepo that allows us to lean on her, because that's really sometimes what we need. You know, we need a coach, or we need someone with a special set of skills. I feel like what's that movie Taken? Sometimes you need that person that has that mastery in it.
Exactly.
just to guide you the right direction. And we'll love to help.
Exactly. If you're in real estate, give us a shout. We want to help you out in your business, in your future. Give Javi is a tech guy. He's the man in real estate technology. So you gotta reach out to us, and we'll help you out in your business. Man, anything else? Like, share, subscribe. All right, guys. Comment. We want to hear about you guys.
We are out.
Love you guys.